What's up, guys? I am StarJake here once again with a brand new video. And here today I am going to be doing a collection update for the month of May 2023. This is a video that I just had the idea to do. I actually realized it was the start of June already, so I was like, you know, I should just make a collection update for the month of May. That month has already passed, and it's not really worth waiting another month to do one of these videos. So I am in the kitchen right now and I got all the stuff ready for this little video. I am going to jump straight into this because I do not want to waste time here and I do have a decent amount of stuff to show. I'm going to start off with the shirts, then I'm going to show some of the more random-esque items, then I'm going to show the physical media. So let's get right on with it. So the first shirt is one that I got while I was on a little trip to Panama City. Panama City is a place that I want to move to eventually, like when I'm able to, but it's really expensive to live there. Well, I don't think that needs much of a description. I mean, all of you know that's an expensive area to live at. Anyways, it is a really cool Asking Alexandria shirt. This is honestly one of the coolest Asking Alexandria shirts I have seen in a long time. Back in 2015, I had a green monster shirt that was exclusively sold on their website. I obviously don't have that shirt anymore. It was a very long time ago. This shirt kind of reminded me of that one, and it made me want to go out and buy that one again. I'm thinking about it because, you know, I love this band. And they have some cool shirt designs. This is definitely one of them. I think this looks absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, Asking Alexandria monster shirt. I'm not exactly 100% sure what it's called. But, yeah, it's the first shirt on the list. Now, the next one's going to be a bit controversial, and I'm completely ready to get attacked for this. I like this band's music. I've been a fan of them since middle school. I do not support the actions of this group and whatnot. I simply like the music. So if you don't like that, then I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I just hate their music when in reality I still love a lot of it. Anyways, I'm not going to get in depth with that. So the next shirt is a really rare Blood on the Dance Floor shirt. Now back in 2013 they released an album called Bad Blood, which is one of my favorite albums. Now I went on eBay and was looking for a specific CD of theirs because, as we all know, there's a lot of CDs of theirs that I have yet to get a hold of. One of their shirts popped up and I was like, oh, I remember that shirt. This is what the shirt looks like. It was for their Bad Blood album and it looks fantastic. Like, this is one of my favorite shirt designs by Blood on the Dance Floor. I think they absolutely nailed this one. This shirt is very out of print, too. This is one of those shirts that a lot of Blood on the Dance Floor fans really look for. I remember a few years ago, it used to sell for a decent amount, and I finally found one in my size, so I was like, okay, I'm going to get that before it's gone. So, yeah, that's a BOTDF shirt from the Bad Blood era. It's a really awesome shirt. And the next one, okay, I want to mention something else that I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video. I've been on a really strict diet. I've lost like 50 pounds and I am absolutely killing it. I'm trying to get to 185. I'm currently like in the late 220s, but I'm getting there. Anyways, I have moved down a size and I accidentally bought a size that was too big for me, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this shirt. I used to wear a 2XL, but now I'm slowly moving down to the L size, which is, you know, the large. This shirt is a little too big for me, but I'm still gonna wear it every once in a while. It's an awesome band and I did not want to pass it up, so I got it anyways. It is this really cool Morbid Angel shirt. Like, I saw this on the shelf and I was like, okay, I have to have that. I did not bother looking at the size because I knew I was going to be able to fit into it. I bought the shirt and then when I got to the house and tried it on, I was like, oh my god, this is way too big. But yeah, that diet I'm on is really paying off. Anyway, yeah, this is the Morbid Angel shirt. It does not fit. It is way too big, but I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, Morbid Angel shirt, really awesome. The next items I'm going to show kind of fall under the random category because this channel is primarily music based. So usually if something isn't music or TV show related, it's kind of just random. Like, these aren't video games, these aren't TV shows or whatnot, it's just completely random items. As we all know, I collect energy drinks. I'm a huge fan of, Monster Energy, Bang Energy, and I love protein shakes. Protein shakes are like one of the main items of my diet. So I got some energy drink and some protein shake bottles to put on display in my room. So one of them, this is honestly one of the coolest energy drink cans I've ever seen. Well, probably one of the coolest cans I've ever seen, if I'm being honest. Now, sadly, the flavor wasn't as promising as the can looks, but it was still pretty good, and I still absolutely love the case. So I kept it as a display item, and it is Bang Swirly Pop. I saw this on the shelf. It was the very last one available, and I was like, okay, I gotta try that. I bought it. I ended up thinking it was just kind of mediocre compared to their other flavors, and then I just put it up for display in my room. So this is more of a display item than something you would actually drink, in my honest opinion. It's okay, but the only real reason you should want to buy this is just to keep the can, because it is really awesome. But yeah, Swirly Pop Bang Energy, that's what that looks like. It's a decent drink, but it's better as a display item. And now, when I said my drinks, I should have just said an energy drink and protein shakes, because that was the only energy drink on this list. But there is this drink that I am absolutely in love with called Koia. It is a protein drink brand that is kind of new. Every single flavor that I have tried so far is absolutely mesmerizing. It is incredible. This is a protein shake that I would encourage literally anybody to try. Sadly, it's expensive in some places, but where I get them, which is Publix, it's only $4, so it's still not cheap, but it's definitely worth $4. Anyway, I'm going to show the flavors I got. These are displayed, by the way, in my room, so I'm going to put these back after the video is completed. Anyway, the first one is the Koia Cocoa Bean. This is undoubtedly one of my favorites. I absolutely fell in love with this one when I tried it the first time. It has a really odd aftertaste to it, but it's definitely worth trying. And I just bought 4 more of these yesterday, so if that tells you whether or not I like it, then there's pretty much your answer. Oh yeah, one more thing I should have noted. I'm sorry if this video is messy. This was not planned when I came into it. All Koia drinks are basically plant-based, like they're 100% vegan. So that's another interesting detail before you consider buying these. Anyway, I don't want to waste too much time on that. The next one, and this is actually one that I drank down really fast. This is also a really addictive flavor. It also is apparently the one that sells the best at Publix, so when they go on sale, they usually sell out relatively quick. But the next one is Koia Chocolate Banana. This is also a really good one. When I tasted this one for the first time, I just got completely addicted to it. Now the next one. Okay, you've heard me praising Koia, how much I love the drinks and whatnot, but this next one, I genuinely do not like. I tried to like it, I just could not. And, I haven't even finished drinking this one yet, because it's not very good, but I might warm up to it. I'm hoping I do, but for now, I do not like it. So the next one is Glowing Greens. This one has a very sour flavor to it, and it is nowhere near as good as I was expecting it to be. My friends told me this looks disgusting and it's probably going to be terrible, and I was like, well, I've loved everything Koia has made so far. Maybe it'll be good. I took 3 sips of it and that was it. I could not finish it. But I'm going to put this on display whenever I actually finish drinking it. I thought it looked really good, but evidently everyone else was right. Everyone else said that it looked terrible and it ended up being terrible. So I'm kind of disappointed. But that's that one. The next one is Koia Magic Mango. This is a smoothie instead of a protein shake. And this one is also really good. But sadly, I can't have... I stopped buying this one because it's kind of high in carbs. And I'm on a keto diet, so I can't really be drinking this one. Like, it's just slightly not okay for the diet, so I can only drink these basically on my cheat days, which is only on the weekend. So, Magic Mango, this is a really good one, but it's not one that I can buy very often because of the diet that I'm on. So, there's that one. And finally, this is also a really addictive flavor. It's pretty much on par with the cocoa bean. This one is the vanilla bean. This one is addictive. 3 in particular are the best ones so far. I have bought many of these, and I would encourage all of you to go buy these if you're a fan of protein shakes. And if you're on a keto diet like I am, these are perfect for you. They taste just as they're described. On this one, how it says chocolate banana, if it's a protein shake, you would probably expect it to not really taste like that, but no. It tastes exactly like that, so it's pretty awesome. They taste exactly how they look and how they sound, and yeah, they're good. They're addictive, they're kind of expensive, but they're definitely worth it. And I'm sorry if I talked a lot about these drinks, I just really love them. They are currently one of my favorite drinks at the moment. Now the last of the random items. I don't know how many of you are familiar with a store called Buc-ee's. It's a really popular store in the United States. Basically, it's a massive gas station and a store all at the same time. Most people who love Buc-ee's are obsessed with it. The first item I'm going to show, I got 2 Buc-ee's related items, then I'm going to move on to the physical media. So let's do this. So the first one is a hat. Now I saw this hat and I was like, oh my god, this looks so killer. So I looked at the price. It was only $12, so I was like, okay, I'm definitely going to get it. And it is none other than a tropical Buc-ee's hat. I can kind of see why it was $12, though. It's damaged already. I've only worn this one day, and it's already starting to get damaged. So, not good. But it's still a cool hat, though, and I'm probably just going to put it on display now that I know how fragile it is. But it has a really cool design to it. It has it's a net hat, and it has the year that Buc-ee's was founded as well, so I think that's kind of cool. And it's also on the front as well. So this is a really cool hat. When I first got it, though, it was like it was bent like this, so I just kind of made it cooler by trying to flatten out the bill of it. But yeah, it's a Buc-ee's hat. It's really awesome. And now the next one. Since I have lost so much weight, my old swim shorts are now too big for me, so I had to move down a size. And I got these Buc-ee's swim shorts. I don't care what any of you say. These are awesome. You're not going to tell me otherwise. All of that out of the way. I've shown you the shirts. I've shown you the Bang Energy, the protein shakes. I've shown the Buc-ee's related items. Now we get on to the physical media, which is what most of you are probably waiting for. I'm going to show my one cassette first, then I'm going to show the CDs. Unfortunately, I did not get any vinyl in the month of May. I wasn't really focused on that. Instead, I pretty much put my focus into buying CDs, so that's pretty much all I have in this video. The cassette that I have, and this is a surprise, by the way. Some of you won't even believe this story. There's a store in Panama City called Nothing Over a Dollar, which I know those stores have a bit of a reputation, but I love them. I think they're really cool. They're definitely a nice little place for souvenirs. I found a cassette wall. It was a whole wall of cassette tapes, and they were $1 each. I was like, oh my god, I have to find something. Sadly, I did not know really anything that was on the wall, so I was kind of disappointed when I got really hyper about it, but I did find something. It's a hip-hop compilation. It's called 1 Million Strong, the album, and this is what it looks like. Like, again, I think the parental advisories are a way to find better music, because I saw this parental advisory on it and I was like, this has got to be something good. So essentially, if that logo was not on this compilation, I probably would not have even picked this up. But it has a relatively decent track listing on it. It has a lot of hip-hop classics on it. So I'm definitely kind of glad I got it. There's not really much to it, and evidently you can just get this on eBay for like $3. But hey, I mean, it's another addition to my tape collection. And I haven't been collecting tapes very often, so it felt nice to finally get something new. There is the one and only tape of the video, 1 Million Strong, the album, which is actually a compilation. Pretty cool. It's definitely an interesting find for a souvenir store. So that's the cassette tape, and now we move on to the CDs, which are pretty much the jewel of the video. So, the first two albums are by the same band. I have been obsessed with this band over the past few months, and somebody just happened to be selling a CD lot of two of their albums, so I went ahead and bought them. Now, the band is Buckcherry. Buckcherry is a band that I've been a fan of for many years, and the first one is their debut album. This is a classic. It's one of my favorite albums by the band, and I remember hearing this way back in the day. This has always been one of my favorite records of theirs, and it was definitely one of the best debut albums I've ever heard before. Sadly, they don't really sound like this anymore, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the front of it, the back, and the disc. And the other one that I got, this is my favorite album of theirs, by the way. I absolutely love this album with a passion. It is the Time Bomb album from 2001. This is such an underrated album that it's absolutely ridiculous. Almost every Buckcherry album has a vinyl pressing except for this one and the All Night Long album. Now, the reason why I think this one didn't do as good is because only one single was released prior to the album release. So there was little to no promotion for it, and the album just went completely unnoticed, basically. After this album, Buckcherry broke up, and they didn't make another album until 2005. So this album, despite it being pretty much a masterpiece, it went very unnoticed because of bad promotion. This is my favorite Buckcherry album. I love it. I personally see it as a step up from this album. But yeah, Time Bomb by Buckcherry. I love this album so much. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. I've heard rumors that it's getting a vinyl pressing later in the year, but I cannot guarantee that. That's just what I heard from one person on Reddit. So anyway, the next one is an unofficial hip-hop compilation. As we all know, Cage is one of my favorite rappers. I love pretty much everything he's came out with, excluding the two newest albums because I haven't really heard them yet, but I'm sure I'm going to end up liking them. Anyway, back in the early 2000s, somebody made a 2-disc collection of rare Cage material. It included demo material, stuff from official releases, and so on and so on. And it ended up being a pretty jam-packed compilation. The first disc has 24 tracks, and the second one has 18 tracks on it. In total, with both discs combined, it's almost 3 hours, so it's huge. Anyway, the compilation is Worm Ballads from 2002. I think it's from 2002 anyways. I was slightly disappointed when this arrived because I can tell this wasn't put together very well. Like, you can see the parental advisory is blurry, the back of the case is kind of blurry, like on the track listing. The disc very easily pop out of the tray, and there's just so many issues with it. Like, even this is broken, and there's nothing on the inserts, so it's kind of disappointing. It still has a lot of amazing material on it, so it's kind of worth having. But yeah, I've been looking for this forever, and I finally got a hold of it. That is Worm Ballads by Cage. It's an unofficial compilation of really rare material and early stuff. Now, the next release is a 2-disc compilation that I bought at Target. Originally, I wasn't going to get this because I'm not familiar with a lot of stuff on it. But then I was like, well, I have the first one. I might as well get the second one. I had plenty to buy it, so I just went ahead and got it. The release is Curtain Call 2 by Eminem. This is also a massive compilation with a lot of material on it. It feels pretty nice to own this now, though, considering this release was put out like a year ago now. But yeah, now this compilation was put together very nicely. I really love the packaging and design of it. Still need to finish listening to it. There's a lot of tracks on it I have not really heard yet. I mostly resonate with the earlier to mid-era of Eminem, so yeah, I'm not too familiar with most of the stuff that's on this compilation. But yeah, that's Curtain Call 2. Now, this next CD was a custom one-off just for myself because I love this artist, I love this album, and I've been listening to it a lot more as of late. And the album is none other than Diligif by J Bigga. Okay, Diligif is a slightly notorious album by J Bigga. A lot of people don't like it because it's pretty much a pure comedy album, but this was one of the first albums I ever heard of his, and I absolutely love it. I knew I had to eventually get this in my CD collection, and I pretty much decided that May was the month for that. But I added a small parental advisory logo to the bottom because I really think this should have had one to begin with. I used the original track listing, and this image, this picture of J Bigga, was uploaded around the time of the release of this album, so I figured I would just use it on the back of the case. I put the logo on like all the corners of the CD case. But yeah, there's no extra tracks or anything on it. It's the original 11 tracks in the exact order that the album was released in. This is the inside of the case. I think I did pretty good with this custom, if I'm being completely honest. I really love how this one turned out. Even the side of the case looks really awesome, if you can see that. I put the logo there and put Diligif right in the middle. So yeah, it's another custom J Bigga CD. This is of the Diligif album. The next album is one that I haven't really listened to yet, so I can't say much about it. But I do love this band, so anyway, the next album is Reinventing the Steel by Pantera. Okay, I know it's probably going to sound criminal, but I have not really heard this one yet. But the truth is, I never really just dug into Pantera's discography like a lot of other people have. Of course, I love this band. I love everything I've heard so far, including the 80s albums. But this is an album I have not heard yet, so I'm eventually going to get on with it. But yeah, this is also the very last Pantera album. So yeah, that's Reinventing the Steel by Pantera. Can't really say anything about it because I, haven't heard it yet. The next two are two really rare CDs that I've been looking for a long time. So I'm really excited to show these on camera. I did make a video unboxing these, by the way. I'll leave the link in the description if you want to go watch it. But the first CD is one that I've been looking for years. I have been hunting this CD for so long, and it finally popped up on Mercari for only $60, so I just went ahead and grabbed it. And the album is none other than Violent Verses by Scum, one of my favorite rap albums and one of my favorite rappers. This is a very underrated album as well. A lot of people never mention this one when talking about the classics of his discography, but this is an amazing album. It's one of my personal favorites, and it feels amazing to finally own a copy of it. So, yeah. That is Violent Verses by Scum. One of my favorite albums of his, and one that I'm really happy to own now. And the next one is a really rare OG out of print pressing of the Dinner Served album from 2007. This is also one of my favorite albums, but I can't call this one underrated because this was pretty much the album that got him really big within the horrorcore community. Like, I'm not sure why it was this album in particular compared to, you know, this one and Enter the Asylum. But this is an amazing album. It's one of my top 5 favorites of his. And I can see why this album got him really popular within the horrorcore community. But yeah, this is a fantastic album. I can listen to this one from start to finish. And that says a lot considering this hour is like an hour and 20 minutes. It's a massive album. It has 22 tracks on it. But yeah, that is the OG out of print pressing of the Dinner Served album. I am really glad to own this one. I pretty much own all the OG Scum CDs now. All I'm really missing now is the Lyrical Snuff album, the From Russia with Hate demo, and the other promo that was meant to promote the first 2 albums. The next one isn't exactly new to my collection. I've actually had this CD for months now, but I just now listened to it for the first time ever. I never heard this band until now, and I gotta say, I'm impressed. I ended up loving this album so much. Like, I listened to this entire thing, and I'm honestly disappointed that it was so short because this album has just nothing but great material on it. And ironically, the album is All Killer, No Filler by Sum 41. I heard from a lot of people that this was a hard rock band. So that's what I was expecting, but it turned out to be more of a pop punk band. So, a pretty pleasant surprise. I'm a huge fan of pop punk. This album was amazing from start to finish. I loved pretty much every track on it, and I kind of regret not checking them out sooner, especially considering they just broke up. Killer No Filler by Sum 41. I ended up loving this album, and I'm definitely going to be listening to it a lot more. There is that one. And the final CD of this video, I have not heard this album, nor have I heard this band before, so I can't say really anything about it, but I'm sure a lot of you have heard this before, so feel free to say something about it. Anyway, the album is Hypnotized by System of a Down. This also may come as a surprise to people, considering they're a really well-known band, but nope, I never really got to hear this one that much. I never really got that deep into nu metal to begin with, so that's one of the reasons, but I have been meaning to check this one out. I'm also hoping this isn't a clean version because I've found versions online with a parental advisory on it, and this one doesn't have one, so I also love the packaging on this. It's kind of hard to notice on camera, but like, all of this is pretty much 3D. Like, you can feel every single thing that's on this image. It's really awesome. But yeah, that's the cover. It's the back of it. And that's the disc. Yeah, the packaging on this is fantastic. This is an album that I'm really looking forward to trying. I'm hoping it's as good as people say it is. I know a lot of people praise this band and that album, so I'm hoping I like it. But yeah, that's Hypnotized by System of a Down. And that's pretty much it. So I got some new shirts. I got some new protein shake and energy drink additions to my collection. I got some new Buc-ee's material, and I got a cassette and some CDs. So I got a decent amount of stuff for 1 month. But yeah, I'm looking forward to making another video like this. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it will happen. Most likely at the end of June. So anyway, I'm sorry if I wasn't very talkative in this video. I didn't sleep at all last night, in case you can't tell, so yeah. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you all later. Have a great night. I hope you all enjoyed the video.